I'm going to agree with Michael Lombardi. This has nothing to do with against the Giants and me taking shots at the Giants organization. Joe Schoen, this is a make or break year for Joe Schoen. And everybody says, why? This is finally his first year as the GM. Dude, he's been the GM for almost 3 years now. He took over in the middle of this, at the end of the season. He's been there for 2 years. He's had 2 drafts. Stop making excuses for him. This organization made a big mistake. Made a big mistake with Saquon Barkley. And Saquon Barkley is going to make them eat their words when they have to play him back-to-back. Well, not back-to-back, but 2 times this year at the end of the season. They're not going to be very happy when Saquon Barkley puts up, 150 yards and 2 or 3 touchdowns in a game, because Philadelphia and Saquon Barkley has that marked on their calendars. So that's one. Number 2, as far as Shane Bowen, I don't know who Shane Bowen is. Okay, I don't know who he is, but he's not Wink Martindale. And the only reason why they brought Shane Bowen in is because he is a yes, sir, yes, man type of a defensive coordinator. He is not a leader. That's what I've heard about him. He follows. Now, Dable is, some people think he's Hitler, okay? There were things said in the locker room at the end of the season that some of the players didn't like him, some of the coaches. He was trying, 3 coaches backed out. Wink Martindale was let go, or he stepped away. One of the wide receiving coaches stepped away, and somebody else stepped away. O-line coach stepped away. 3 coaches stepped away. There was a reason why he hired those guys. There was a reason why they stepped away. All right. So we don't know the truth behind the scenes on what happened that year. Now, as far as John Mara is concerned, everybody said he's one of the greatest, one of the best owners in all of sports. And the Giants, he's been one of those guys. The Rooney family and the Mara family have always been the faces of what you want to do as far as owners are concerned when it comes to the NFL. Not Jerry Jones, by the way. But I'm going to say this. Over the last 10 years, everything that he did to Tom Coughlin, kissing Odell Beckham's ass, everything. Ben McAdoo, coach after coach, GM after GM, all of it. What he did to Tom Coughlin was despicable. Tom Coughlin won 2 Super Bowls in the amount of 5 years, bringing home 2 Super Bowls, the same amount of Super Bowls as Bill Parcells. Bill Parcells has been worshipped by John Mara more than Tom Coughlin has. And Speedy, we've been to Tom Coughlin's, events. We know what he is. We know what type of person that he is. Okay. He stands for the players. He stands for the team. Tom Coughlin took a step back as a coach and became more of a player's coach because John Mara came to him and told him that he has to be one with the team. He has to change his ways. He did that. And you know who got all the credit for all those championships? John Mara, Steve Tisch. It wasn't Tom Coughlin. It wasn't Eli Manning and what Eli Manning did in the playoffs, making those runs, or even Michael Strahan or Justin Tuck on what they did in the playoffs and the domination that they had against the Patriots, not once but twice. The fact is, they made a wrong choice with Joe Schoen, and it's going to catch up to them. Evan Neal is going to be out of the NFL in the next year. The only reason why they're going to keep him is because he was a top 10 pick, and they made a mistake on him. And this Thibodeau thing, everybody, did you watch Thibodeau last year? He had 12 and a half sacks. Look at the sacks and look at the teams he had those sacks against. Look at the end of the season, how many sacks he had at the end of the season and what he had in the beginning of the season, the first 8 games. Not very good, okay? I'm just speaking the truth here. And now everybody keeps talking. This is an important draft for them. I love the kid that they drafted from LSU. I love him. I think he's going to be an outstanding wide receiver. I think he's special. But what you did to Saquon Barkley and what the fans did to Saquon Barkley, and I'm going to tell you this. Tiki Barber, I know he's very close with John Mara. And if you don't think John Mara had something to do with what Tiki Barber said on WFAN, you guys are blind, okay? You know damn well John Mara was not happy about the whole him going to Philadelphia, that he could have gone anywhere else, but he decided to go to Philadelphia. Philadelphia offered him the most money, okay? I'm going to take the most money. And that's why he went to Philadelphia. It had nothing to do with because they're in the same division and he has to play the Giants twice. That was all crap. All those stories coming out over the last couple of months, last couple of weeks about Saquon Barkley wanting to play the Giants twice to stick it to the Giants. That's a lie. Well, will he stick it to the Giants? Oh, you damn well believe he will. He is going to stick it to the New York Giants. Now, as far as Michael Lombardi, Michael Lombardi is a failure. I'm saying this. He's a failure of an executive. So Michael Lombardi coming out and speaking, this isn't the Lombardi from the Green Bay Packers. Okay, this is Michael Lombardi coming out and saying something about the Mara and Joe Schoen and all that other stuff. So I'm not going to take everything that he said with a grain of salt, but I'm going to say this. The New York Giants have to win more than 7 games this year if Dable expects to keep his job, if Joe Schoen is expected to keep his job. If they lose more than 6 games this year, there is no way in hell those guys are coming back. There's no way. And I'm going to tell you this right now. Daniel Jones will be gone. Joe Schoen will be gone. Dable will be gone. That whole team is going to have to rebuild again. And they're talking about rebuilding this team right now. The only person that's going to be staying there is the guy that they just paid $140 million to, and Dexter Lawrence. That's it. The rest of the team, that could be all she wrote. I mean, Thibodeau could be traded. That whole team is going to have to be rebuilt, because that team, I'm going to tell you this right now, there's barely any talent on that team. There is no talent on that team. The Giants are despicable. I think they're an organization that you're going to see at Hard Knocks, even though they're going to hide all the things that the Giants want to hide. But if you think Joe Schoen is a smart guy and you think that he's a good GM, go watch the first episode. I think he guy's a complete idiot.